This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Valdosta-Lowndes. And I'm over in Meigs, Georgia. I received a call yesterday afternoon, and I came over. And what's your name?
Linda Eason Harris.
Lyndon Eason Harris?
Yes.
And we're standing before Meigs City Hall, and of course, the police of Meigs and in the county of Thomas. And we have watched television and the newspapers in South Georgia and Middle Georgia, I understand, about what's going on here. Mayor, can you tell me short form of what's going on here? I see people coming, they're just standing across the street here, and we invite you all to come in and stand with your mayor. Tell us what is going on here in this city.
Well, when I was elected by the people, the council decided that I had too much power, that I was hiring and firing everybody. But what's real about it is we have 5 people to resign. And 5 days in, they made the city clerk, our city manager, divested me of my power and giving all the powers to her.
Why did that happen?
Well, they said that I was hiring and firing people without asking the council. And I asked them to explain that, and they really couldn't, the council couldn't do it.
Well, what do you think, personally, what do you think it is? Why do you think they did that?
I think it's a personal vendetta, and the fact that they just don't want to see me in power.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand that there have been a black mayor before you, so it don't seem like it's a racial issue if you already had a black mayor.
Right. Well, they are saying that being that the previous mayors were taking advantage of their power and doing things the way they wanted to without consulting with anybody else, they were just going to take my powers away from me so that I wouldn't do the same thing.
Do the same thing as what?
As far as hiring and firing, and they said I wanted to spend all the money, which when I came in, I told them that I never wanted access to the money. Mm-hmm. I automatically made the city clerk, when I came in, I wanted somebody over the money, somebody taking the bill money, mm-hmm. somebody writing out the checks. I just wanted to sign and make sure that it was being written for what it said it was being written for. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to have access to the money.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they would think that you want the money? I mean, did the other mayor take the money? Why would they even have take that assumption?
Well, I'm not really sure. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say something that I get sued for. Mm-hmm. But it's been times when previous mayors have been accused of taking money, and it's been proven that some of the mayors have misappropriated the funds. I
got you. Okay, now the thing that gets me, and I'm gonna step back in because I want to be with you when I ask you this question.
Okay.
My beautiful sister and mayor, I know the road that we as black had to get just to get the right to vote, not to mention the fact to get elected mayor of any city.
Exactly.
We have Mr. Brown in Quitman, the third, Charles Brown in Quitman, going through some similar, but not as deep as I think it's made. But the point I'm trying to make that I want to ask you now is this. We read, and all the major thing that they focusing on now, and I'm going to step out the picture because it's not that I'm afraid to be with you, but I want to hear your response about this voodoo and witchcraft. How did I get in there?
Okay, you know, that caught me by surprise that they'd even do an email on that when the lady, one of the employees, introduced me to. I knew nothing about black magic, black salt, but she said that being that it was told to her that the other people had the stuff on me, that it would be wise for me to go and get me some oil and some salt, and that we were supposed to throw it over the place so that it'll take away the evil spirits. And I said, well, girl, you know, we do need to get something out and get this spirit out of here, but I didn't know that, you know, it was supposed to be a reversal or something. But, you know, she was more willing to do that than I was. And if that's what she wanted to do, if she felt like that was going to take the evil spirits away and we were going to be okay, and I said, hey, well, then let's do it. Mm-hmm. But I was accused of throwing it.
Yeah. But now, when you said if somebody else in there was working something like that, who do you mean? Do you talk about your cousin? Who would be working something of that level? When they, where would that come from?
Well,
I mean, who would be doing it? I mean, you don't have to call no name, but I mean, if she said somebody, I mean.
Well, yeah, Renee Boyd Williams, the lady that I hired, she was a previous employee here who was terminated for blowing the whistle on the city. And I told her from day one, after she got terminated, I said, well, you know, I don't think that was right if you blew the whistle on the city for misappropriating funds. I think you had a, you know, outlook on the city. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to run. I'm going to run for mayor, and if I win, I will try and get you back in there. And I did that. And I consulted this young lady, I consoled her for a year and a half. And I got her in the office. It's like that it was something working. I don't know what her agenda was, but she would call me 4 or 5 times a day before I became mayor. Then when I became the mayor, they worked with me until I got in the office. They even took me to Albany to talk to Tommy Coleman after they tried to violate the charter to remove me. I was removed. I was sworn in on January 2nd, and on agenda number 3 was to swear me in. On agenda number 4 was to remove an elected official. But whenever I was removed, the next day, I knew they had violated the charter. So the next day, I went to Tommy Coleman, who I had sought legal counsel with, and he said, no, they violated the charter. So this lady took me to Valdosta. They were made give me the key. The previous employees didn't want to do a smooth transition, so they left that day. And I knew that they would, so I had Renee Boyd-Williams, who's the current assistant city clerk or data entry clerk, is really what she is, and the city clerk who they've made the city clerk manager administrator. They took me there and brought, they came in with me on that Friday, the 3rd, but by Wednesday of the next week, something happened, and they just totally, from that day on, flipped the script on me.
Okay, now, have you received any professional training on being the mayor? And if you have, what did you learn from such training?
Actually, I've attended council meetings for probably 5 years now. I've always taken interest in this city. I've volunteered on many levels on large capacities. I've been the liaison for the children here on a very voluntary basis with my own funds for years and years. And I've gained that respect from the citizens. And they know that I was basically that I'm going to do the right thing when it comes to my people, to my citizens. I have not had any training per se. They've already told me the city don't have any money to send me to trainings. That's what the city manager, who was the city clerk at the time, she told me we don't have any money. She's convinced the council that I'm just wanting to spend the city's money. But I educated myself by learning the charter, reading the charter thoroughly. And this is why I know that in reading the charter, getting an understanding, and I know that I have to be taught some more, some of the things I don't understand. But the charter is like the governing body of the city. It's like the Bible to run the city. Like, we don't want to sin against the Bible. It's like the 10 Commandments. If the Lord say thou shalt not kill, you shouldn't kill. If the charter says that the mayor is the CEO of the city and it has all the executive powers to hire and fire, then that's what they should be vested. My power should be vested.
That's right.
Now, I have, since I've gotten involved with what I'm doing, which I call myself the Ghetto Free Press, I've learned that once you are elected, especially as mayor, that they send you to Atlanta.
Yes.
Some people go to Atlanta for training, and in this particular training, I am told that what you just said, although a lot of municipalities seem not to understand that, is that they do refer to the mayor as the CEO of the city. But yet a lot of people are saying that that CEO position is and does belong to the city manager. And it is as if though there is no need of even paying a mayor, quote unquote, because they say the city manager has all the power. So if the city manager has all the power, why do they even have a mayor in South Georgia if they don't have any power?
Exactly, and I think that's why where they're violating the charter at. Because I ran on false pretenses that, okay, I'm going to be the mayor and I'm going to be in control of trying to keep my city in order and, just form an order for us. Because what's happened is we're considered independent around here now because of the previous administrations wanting to do things the way they wanted to do. And I wanted to run with the notion that I'd be able to get in there and get us back on the right track where that we can be part of the county and not considered independent. And, just kind of form some policies and procedures so that we won't be making up our own rule. And so that if Thomas County Sheriff's Department has to come in to help us, okay, we're not telling them what we're going to do and we're not going to abide by your rule. And that's basically what I want to do. But as far as the Atlanta question, yes, we go every year to Atlanta. And really the reason why these young ladies came against me is I told them that we had to go on the trip, but the previous mayor had already paid for the trip, and they said that they wouldn't be able to pay for me to go. And I said, well, that don't seem right then. I said, but if we can pay y'all this nice salary, then look like we ought to be able to pay for me to go on a Mayor's Day conference to Atlanta, something that every city sends their mayor to anyway. But they had to conjure up some money, so they said, and to send me. And I said, well, if we don't have enough money to send me to something as simple as a Mayor's Day conference, then we need to revisit salaries, then we're paying y'all too much. And that's when that's when all hell broke loose, so to say. They started coming against me and just basically wanted me out of my position at that point.
Okay, Linda, let me explain to you who I am, because like I said, I got a phone call last night and I was on my way to Americus, Georgia. And since talking to you, I may have to stop in Dawson, Georgia. But the bottom line is, this is what I do. I've been doing this since '75. Okay. And I'm not going to say I'm good at it, but I do what I do. And my question now is to you is that we get ready to close this. And this is very honestly. I'm asking this from my heart because I really want your honest opinion about this. It's very important to me. Since you were elected by the majority of votes, did you not? Were you?
I was elected by majority.
And from walking the street, you got the backing of the people.
Right.
Now, have you ever been interviewed by the news media where they will actually report the fact that you have the backing of your community?
I have not been supported to this capacity yet by any media.
Well, I want you to know that this will be, I'm going to send this to all the news media so they will get this. And what I mean when I say get this is that too much news in the black community, and the poor white community, and the poor Hispanic community are not being addressed, and therefore we have to live with all this bottled up pain. And so the Getto Free Press, I spell it G-E-T-T-O.
Okay.
People tell me I got it misspelled. It's not misspelled, I got it the way I want it. That means we get to Meigs, and the two mean to you, then we get back to you. We don't need an H in it to do that.
Okay.
That's why I call it the Getto Free Press. We get it and we bring it to you. Okay. We get it from you and we take it back to them so they can get it. Okay. And so now, I'm still on point now. I got a good mind. Now my question to you is this. How do you feel as an elected official of the people? How do you feel like, as far as your city manager and your council are supporting you in terms of leading the city or town of Meigs to where it should go in the 21st century?
I'm glad you asked me that because I feel very betrayed. I feel that it didn't do me any good to put my reputation on the line. I've been ridiculed and scandalized for over a year now trying to fight this fight for the citizens. I ran in a special election in March. I lost in that one, but I said I wasn't going to lose any sleep because there was a general election in November that I was going to be prepared for, and I was going to win it, and I did. But in going through all of that, my name being on the front page, I feel that I was betrayed. I was betrayed by two women that I befriended. I thought they were Christian women who went in and totally just changed on me. And they were different people, and those are the evil spirits that I'm having to deal with. And as far as the council, I believe that a council should be educated. Whenever you take in a new office, and usually starts in January, I think they should have a retreat so that they can learn their charter, so that they know that what they're governed by, they're not violating charter with. But I feel that whenever I ask them, have you read the charter? Are you aware of the decision that you're making? Most of them tell me no, but it's whatever. They said they made the manager, they gave her my power, and that's what they're sticking with. They've given her the power, so that's what she's gonna do. I feel very betrayed.
Now I thought I was through, but now you're gonna open up another bucket of worms. Excuse me, let's cut here.